When I look back at some of the incredible guests we've had this season, from Dr. Branch, who reminded us that purpose drives progress, to Kemi Mizinga, who spoke about creativity as the bridge to innovation, I see a common thread: passion. Welcome back to the YSTEM podcast, where we explore stories, people, and the purpose behind science, technology, engineering, and math, and how they shape the world we live in. I'm your host, Dr. Rameesh Madourie. Today's episode is a little different. There's no guest across the mic. It's just me and you, reflecting on why STEM matters more than ever. I want to take a moment to talk about innovation, the people who make it happen, and how all of us as educators, parents, and students can keep the spark alive. Let's start with a story. A few months ago, researchers developed a biodegradable battery made from seaweed, actual seaweed, that could power small electronic devices. It's an innovation that's good for people and the planet. But behind that discovery isn't just technology. It's imagination, it's persistence, it's someone's why. And that's what fascinates me about STEM. It's not just equations or experiments. It's people daring to ask, what if? When I look back at some of the incredible guests we've had this season, from Dr. Branch, who reminded us that purpose drives progress, can you take us back to those early years and share how those experiences shaped your path?
Yeah. Man, I can remember a time when I was in high school and ninth grade.
Okay.
And it was my ninth grade English teacher class, and she was giving out the textbooks in the beginning of the school year. And when I opened up my textbook, it was my mom's name, right? So I think that was one of the very first experiences where I observed and noticed that there were inequities as far as resources. Mm-hmm. Because for me to be in a school in which my mother also graduated from that same high school, but 20 years later, and they were using the same resources, the same textbooks, that was just sort of a turning point, right?
To Kemi Mizinga, who spoke about creativity as the bridge to innovation. Mm-hmm. Can you walk us through a project you made, or a project that you're real proud of? Can you walk us through one of those things that after you've accomplished this project or this design, you're like, you know what, I did that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the very first project that I've actually had constructed that is in the field right now, that exists, it finished in like August of last year.
Okay, is it in Colorado?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this was a project, so this is for a subdivision down in the like Roxborough, kind of like Sterling's Ranch area, like way down south in the Denver metro. And this was a structural steel framing for a sanitary line that's going to be installed on this bridge that already is built and has been there for a few years. But now this subdivision needs these like sewer lines to be connected like across this bridge. And I designed the framework for it. And honestly, one of the coolest experiences was being able to just take like all of the calculations that I did like on the computer in the office and the plan sheets that I put together, and to be able to see this physical thing in the field that exists that I designed. That was a very cool experience.
Yeah. I see a common thread: passion. Every innovation begins with someone's deep personal reason to make things better. STEM isn't just a field, it's a movement. It's the belief that we can solve problems from local classrooms to global challenges through curiosity and collaboration. Now, as an educator, I always ask myself, how do we translate this excitement into the classroom? How do we get students to see that STEM isn't just something they study, it's actually something they live? It starts with relevance. If students can see the connection between what they learn and the world around them, they more likely will engage. When we teach coding, it's not just teaching syntax. We're teaching creativity. When we talk about renewable energy, we're teaching sustainability. When we let students fail forward in robotics or in engineering challenges, we're teaching resilience. And that's what makes STEM so powerful. It develops not just knowledge, but character. So, to every teacher listening, your lesson today could ignite a spark that changes a student's life. To every student listening, your curiosity is your superpower. And to parents, your engagement might be the reason your child becomes the next innovator. As I reflect on this season, one thing keeps coming back to me: the why. Why do we teach? Why do we build? Why do we push boundaries? Because the future depends on it. Our guests are essentially answering the question, why STEM, with their life and their life experiences.
STEM is really important for what we do as a civilization. It really challenges you personally, but also challenges you as a group.
Why not? Our students are not short of talent, grit, tenacity. All they need is opportunity, a sense of belonging, and the right people to be able to cultivate a belief in them, to tell them that not just why STEM, but absolutely STEM and STEAM.
I love STEM. I really do love STEM. I'm truly a nerd at heart. Like, I'm a big nerd. I'm always taking in knowledge. I think, I'm always reading something, trying to learn something, what's coming up next. I think why STEM?
In STEM, there are so many different problems to solve, and these problems are incredibly impactful for the entire world. And so why STEM? Like, if you want to have an impact on the world, STEM is a wonderful vehicle to actually reason about and start having an impact. And so it's impactful, it's challenging, and that challenge is fun. You get to constantly solve problems, and you get to work with some of the most incredible people that you'll ever meet.
First of all, in the short term, STEM-related fields pay well. They're growing in need. In fact, there are many open jobs.
I believe with STEM, you're going to be very well equipped. Anyone can be very well equipped to solve problems.
STEM is a very rewarding field to which you can provide solutions for the general public. I think there will always be a need for people like us. There will always be a need.
If you're somebody who really tends to be more on the technical and analytical side, there's a great spot for you to do that. But if you're somebody who really likes to team build and problem solve and do things that maybe don't fit the stereotypical engineer, there's a spot for you in STEM for that too. So I really think it can be for anybody. I think it's extremely rewarding. I think it's very important for what we do in our everyday lives. So I couldn't recommend it high enough.
This week, I want to challenge you to find one STEM story that inspires you. Maybe it's a person, a project, or a discovery. Then I want you to share it with a student, a colleague, or even on social media. Inspiration spreads, and your story might just be the reason someone discovers their passion. In our next episode, I'll be sharing something personal, my own why. The story behind my passion for STEM, the journey that brought me here, and the lessons that continues to fuel my purpose. Until then, Remember this, STEM isn't just about technology or equations. It's about the human spirit. It's about curiosity, courage, and community. Remember, keep asking why and never stop discovering. As always, thank you for listening to the Why STEM podcast. I am Dr. Rameesh Madourie. If today's message inspired you, share it with someone who believes in the power of education and innovation. And don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms at STEMVibes360 or visit our website to connect. See you next time.